Get ready to get sticky. Sticky Situations is sponsored by Corona Crush. Corona Crush is creating Jewish couples always. Join the Facebook group. Just search Corona Crush and look out for virtual speed dating events happening every other week. They're 100% free and 100% Jewish. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Sticky Situations. I'm your host, Rachel, which obviously you know because I'm unforgettable. Everyone, right now, whatever platform you're listening on, if you're not already subscribed or following, press that follow or subscribe button. Go follow Sticky Situations Pod on Instagram. Go follow Sticky Situations Pod on TikTok. If you would like to be a guest on my podcast, please reach out. There are applications in all of my Corona Crush posts, or you can send me a DM on Instagram at Sticky Situations Pod, or send me an email at stickysituationspod@gmail.com. I'm always looking for more guests, so I'd love to hear from you. Same goes for if you would like to date any of my single guests. I have tons of really great single people on the show, so if any of them sound like they'd be a good match for you, feel free to reach out. Again, send me a DM on Instagram, Sticky Situations Pod, or an email at stickysituationspod@gmail.com. I have a really extra special guest today, so we're just going to jump right in the episode. Everyone, please welcome my friend Jason. Jason, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me on Sticky Situations. Have you set people up? Have people gone on dates from this podcast?
So a couple people have reached out and I've tried my best. The problem is I release the episodes at a delay. So by the time it's like I think I've had like 3 people reach out for people.
That's
And
awesome.
but by the time that the episodes were like aired, 2 of them were dating other people. One of them got married to the person he was dating. And so I was like, okay, this is great. I'm happy I didn't set you up. And one of the girls made Aliyah or was making in the process of making Aliyah. So she's like, yeah, I'm not trying to date someone in New York anymore. So yeah, I mean, I'm always
Well,
open to it. I'm always trying.
good for you. That's so awesome. And I couldn't help but notice your many Instagram posts. I know you said you're going to release this on a delay, but it seems like your love for Taylor Swift will be everlasting. Is that who you were like, and your face, for people that are listening, your face just lit up like a Merry Christmas situation.
Well, okay, so again, this episode is being released at a delay, but
Mhm.
we are speaking on the day that Taylor announced that her new album is coming out. So that's why I'm so happy. And I love Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift makes me happy always. And I
Is it
quote
just
Taylor
like
Swift
her?
a lot in the podcast.
Nice. Is it just like her wholesome? I watched a little bit of the Eras tour on Netflix, and then I also watched a little bit of Beyonce's tour, and they couldn't have
Yep.
felt more different. Like Beyonce was like, "This is a place of worship. I am God," and Taylor Swift was like, "We're at a slumber party, and everyone here is gonna be friends with everyone."
Yeah, so going to the Eras tour was one of the most magical experiences of my life. It's like for those of you who saw the Barbie movie, Barbie Land, that's the closest it'll ever feel like to being in Barbie Land. It was just like everyone was so nice to each other. Everyone's trading friendship bracelets. We're all dancing and singing. And also, like, I've loved Taylor Swift since the beginning. So, like, I think she released her first album in 2006. Like, little sixth grade me, seventh grade me was like a big fan. So, I don't know. I've like kind of grown up with her and I just, and a lot, I think a lot of her fans are. And there's always something to relate to. Like I was telling all of my
The
friends
thing
today, I hope when her new album comes out, which I hope is going to be a poppy love album, I hope I can relate to that instead of the last album, which was depressing.
I hope so too.
Thanks.
For me, for me, what I relate to or don't relate to, but find the most poignant is her story of her origins, that she was like playing guitar in her house until her fingers were bleeding, and her parents believed in her so much that they moved and uprooted her whole family just to be in Nashville so she could be closer to the music scene. And you see that often. It's either there's like polarity. It's either someone that was really abused as a child comes up like a phoenix from the ashes, or it's these stories like Justin Bieber, same thing, where the parents just had this unbelievable undying love and belief in the child, and that germinates into this mega superstar like we've never seen before. And
Yeah.
it just makes me happy. It's like I see my nieces and nephews and I'm like, okay, if you just sprinkle as much belief as you can, then like who knows? Big stuff could happen.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't think she had like the easiest start. She started out very small, and now she's like probably the singer of our generation. Like, so I don't know. I love her. I love all of her stuff. Everyone can find something to love. And I think even if you don't like her music, there is what to be admired about her as a person. Like she's a good, great businesswoman, and I do think she's like kept that wholesome energy,
Yeah,
which
totally.
is
Like we're
rare.
doing for Sticky, yeah, like Sticky podcast is so wholesome, even though it talks about sticky situations.
We try to stay wholesome. But wait, Jason, before we get too distracted, before we get into like real dating discussion, telling your stories, everything, can you tell me and my listeners just some like quick facts about yourself, your age, location, relationship status, and religious denomination?
I am 33. My location is bi-coastal, LA and New York. I have a place on the Upper East Side, and my whole family's in LA. I grew up really religious, and now I'm traditional. And my relationship status is so completely single that I'm ready to mingle. And I'm an attorney with a law firm.
The ladies, if you want a nice Jewish lawyer, like hit me up. See what we can
Right,
do.
right.
But Jason, do you want to like get into dating stories?
Sure. But I want to ask you, what's your name, occupation, religious denomination?
You want
It's
all of
such
that
a
about me?
it's such a
Sure.
like DMV style questionnaire.
So
Like,
I asked the questions
uh,
because I think I try to have like all different types of people as guests on my podcast. So it gives my listeners an idea of like the person's dating pool. So yeah, that's why I asked those questions. I mean, I can tell you mine. I'm 31 in New York, modern Orthodox, and single. So
nice.
those are my quick facts.
Okay, I'll go into my stories and we'll talk about stuff. I have to ask you the one more question, which is
Okay.
what is the craziest story that was told to you on the Sticky podcast?
Um, so I actually can't tell it.
Because it didn't air and like it was anonymous in the
It
end.
didn't air by design.
That's hilarious. Now all I want to know is why, but I won't probe further.
Let's just say there was a story told that I already knew.
That doesn't give me anything. I don't understand at all.
I guess it's gonna leave to the imagination.
Okay. Story that oh, a story you already knew because it's you. You're
No, it
in
wasn't.
this. Oh, I thought I was so clever just now.
No, but somebody I'm close to.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have one story prepared, which
Okay.
is I I deleted Hinge recently just because, man, it just doesn't seem like a fruitful thing. I just feel very anti that being the origin story of like a 50-year relationship. That just doesn't seem like that's what I want in my life. But I was using Hinge at the time, and this girl and I matched, and I gave her a list of okay, what do you want to do? Here's what I'm up for. Like, we could go bowling, we could go to a bar, we can go watch comedy. And she said, oh, let's go bowling. I said, perfect. We'll go bowling. And I've actually never done bowling as like a first date thing, but it seems like a kind of a cute thing. So I go to pick her up from her house, and she comes out with like a suitcase. And I was like, oh, that's that's interesting. What is in the suitcase? And she says, my bowling balls. She's like, you use the house balls? And I was like, oh, yeah, I totally do. She's like, oh yeah, my shoes, gloves, and balls are in the suitcase. And she neglected to tell me that she was like a semi-professional bowler, and she was on the varsity team of her high school and traveled around the like world essentially bowling. And she destroyed me. There was no second date. I did not enjoy it at all. Not only that, but she was a chef, and I proposed, okay, let's get food sort of after bowling. And she was allergic to so many things. And I was like, how is this person a chef? Like, I don't understand. She was a chef at this, like, it's called the Bird Street Club. It's super exclusive. It's $25,000 a month just for the privilege to dine at their restaurants. There's a bunch of streets in the Hollywood Hills. They're called bird streets because all of the streets are named after birds and they perch over the city. And there's some really exclusive like venues that you really need to know people to even know they exist. One of them is this restaurant where you have to like sign NDAs because of all the people that eat there. And I was just like, the food must be terrible though, because if she's one of the chefs and she can never like dip her finger in to taste it, what are we really doing here? Now, I've since matured, and that's cool. People could have hobbies, and I shouldn't knock her for being a semi-professional bowler. I just thought it was like weird, like, why, how do you not tell me that? You just casually pick this thing that you're a professional at. And she
Yeah.
really beat me by like 100 points. It was very bad. I did not enjoy it.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, personally, I'm not a good bowler. And I don't know. I get competitive. Like, if I'm on a date and we're playing a game of some sort, like, I'm going to be competitive, but I'm also going to be bad at it. So that's like not the best colors I want to show.
That's funny.
I don't know. I just feel like also, I think it's so extra to bring, even if I was a semi-professional at whatever the date was, to bring your suitcase full of bowling balls, like what? I mean,
Yeah, it
also,
was.
like I'm in New York, so like that's not coming on the subway.
Yeah, no, that this was in LA, and I made like a couple Holocaust jokes too, which is like a defense mechanism for me. She
And
did
what you
not find them
say?
funny. I think you have to come from like a certain cloth to like find them funny. Like you have to have had it in your family. If you're just like Jewish and you don't touch it in any other way, then it's just offensive. But I don't know. When I was thinking about preparing for this podcast, the whole dating thing is just so unnatural. It's such a weird modern experience.
Yeah.
I went on a date with a girl in New York. I took her to this Speakeasy Magic. I don't know if you've ever heard of it or been there. It's so unbelievable.
I don't know.
It it's like this bar, and next door is a dry cleaners. It looks like a dry
Mhm.
cleaners, but and it's a shtick. You're kind of in on it, but they're kind of toying with you a little. You go to the bar, and if you prepay for the magic show because someone has told you about it, and they give you like a dry cleaner's ticket, and they're like, go next door and talk to Alex. And you go, and it looks like a regular dry cleaning place, and the guy's like working on like clothing, and then you give Alex the ticket, and then Alex like opens up all these clothing racks, and you go to the back, and there's a speakeasy, and there's like really cool magic stuff happening where there's a
Cool.
bunch of little tables. Yeah. So I take this girl out, and it was super expensive, but I was set up by a mutual friend that talked her up forever. So I was like, okay, then let's really go out and impress this person. And it was pretty clear from the jump that nothing was really going to happen. But you do share intimate moments, and then it's just gone. And then like, okay, so then you have this experience with someone, and then you never talk to them again. Like there's no follow up. You kind of both ghost each other. And
No, I
it's
don't
just
like
like,
that.
when does this happen in any other capacity? Even breakups. I'm so horrible with breakups. I almost never break up with someone. They either need to break up with me, or we just do this toxic cycle where we recycle each other's energy over and over and over again until there's like nothing enjoyable left anymore. But how do you go from like talking to someone every day about your most intimate problems and hopes and aspirations or whatever, and then suddenly you're just like, okay, no, I don't talk to this person anymore.
Yeah, that's why breakups are it's hard, like I don't know. The breakups that I've had, it's just there's no answer. It's you just sit there and cry. And I don't know. And then eventually you just I don't know, you get so used to talking to someone every day and telling them everything, and then you just get used to not talking to them or replacing telling them everything with bothering all your friends and telling them stuff. I don't breakups are weird. Like I agree with you. The whole thing is weird. I don't believe in ghosting though. So like if I go on a date with someone and I'm not feeling it, they're getting a text. Even I recently had a date. Maybe I'll tell the full story later or on a different episode. But the date literally ended with me yelling at him and telling him not to walk me home and telling him that we're not compatible. Um, but even after all that happened in person, I still texted him the next morning and I was like, hey, just to reiterate, this isn't going anywhere. Best of luck with everything. So,
I had a phone call with a girl. I don't remember who set me up. Oh yeah, my sister's friend. So we had like an initial call. She's like in some like maybe Dallas, Chicago, I don't know, whatever, for the summer, but she lives in New York. Oh my gosh, she'd be perfect. You guys should totally go out when she's in New York. Okay, here's her number. Okay, then let me have a phone call with her. Or she asked for a phone call or something. And we have this phone call, and it's just me like just giving energy. Like this girl just sounded like tired and gloomy. And and then I get a text from her the next day. Like it couldn't have been more obvious from the brittle conversation that this was going nowhere. And she sends me this like long message about how like unfortunately I don't, it like looked like if LinkedIn AI drafted it. Like unfortunately I don't see us moving forward on a going forward basis. I wish you the best of luck. And I'm just like I didn't even need that. I didn't need that at all. I wasn't even thinking about you. So I don't know if I want the breakup text or like
no,
on a
I think it's, but it could just be short and sweet. Like if I talk to a guy on the phone and never want to see him or talk to him ever again, I send a text saying, hey, it was nice chatting last night. I just don't think we're a match. Best of luck with everything. There's
you're
nothing to it.
yeah, you're a good person. You're a good
I try
person.
to be because, like, I hate being ghosted. Being ghosted is literally it's not even like oh, that's just the worst thing to ever happen to me. Like, no, I've had way worse happen to me. But it's just like so disrespectful. It's just like, if you don't like me, that's okay. You're not ruining my life by telling me that. But it's just like, it's just like so easy to like be communicative and honest. I like honesty and directness.
Yeah. What did that guy do that made you yell at him?
He's like sexist.
Hmm. I'm pretty
Uh,
sexist, I think.
no, I mean, like, I'll tell the whole story a different time or later. I want to hear your stuff first or whatever you
Hmm.
want to talk about because I know we're on a limited schedule. But I don't know. He just kept saying things that I didn't like. And at some point, I was just over it. And I'm like, you're wrong. I'm ready to go home. I have other stuff to do. Bye. And then he tried to walk me home. And I was like, please, like, don't walk me home. Go that way to your car. And I'm going to go that way to my apartment.
Wow, that sounds pretty awful. I had that. I went to where we met. I went to that holy happy hour
Yeah.
and this girl sits down next to me and we have this conversation and I clearly ticked her off because I am a bit sexist. I was saying basically that I don't think women should work, unless they really want to. And she was like, "What does that mean?" And I also said that I think that kids should be homeschooled. And she
Oh,
was
no.
quite, what do you mean, oh no? You disagree with me?
I just think it's unrealistic.
Hmm.
I think all these guys have all these expectations of what they want from women, but they just need to shut up. Like, you're not the first guy who I've talked to who's like, "Oh yeah, I want my wife to homeschool my kids." Like, I'm not a freaking teacher. Like, I'm an accountant. And it's 2025. Who could survive on one income?
Well, I do aspire to make enough to live up to these
Okay,
aspirations.
but if you're not making enough at 33 years old to like pay for a whole family and day school tuition and a big house wherever you want to live and everything that comes with it, you're not going to. Like it's one thing if you're 23 and saying that, but if you're already in your 30s and you're not doing it, then like you're not going to. And like that's fine. I admit it. I'm in my 30s. I don't make like my income is great for one person, but I don't make enough to support a family and the lifestyle I want.
I'm on the cusp of it, but I hear you, and I don't think that the mom should have everything. I think it's equal 50-50, and I think that getting tutors and kind of doing a pod style is really the way to go. I just
Why?
don't understand. I think that
Homeschooled kids
school
are
was really a
weird.
waste. Maybe, but I think that school was a complete waste of time, and there's other ways to have your kids socialized. That's really the only thing that you can say that is the reason why school is a pro, is because of the socialization aspect. But I think that if you have interesting arts and extracurricular activities that you sign them up for, then that's a way that they could have that texture of life where they have to negotiate space and other things with other kids. And they'll have cousins. My sisters and brother have kids, and I don't think that it should all fall on the mom. I think the mom should be making sure she has time for pedicures and Pilates, but I don't think that kids should be in school. I think that that's an absurd concept that's very outdated, especially with the advent of the internet. And it's really an orphanage. It's really like, okay, for like 250 days a year, we just drop off our kids in this like building that's like horrible that we hated. Like I'm watching my friends who have kids sending their kids to the school we went to. And I'm like, you bastards. Like we know how no, we didn't respect the teachers. Our parents never respected the teachers. And you're just like feeding into this vicious cycle of stupidity where you put some of my like some kids are really smart and the teachers are just teaching to the lowest common denominator, just trying to get through the day. And it's like society is so set up to have kids. And that's the main focus of everybody's life. And yet once you have them, they're kind of just in your way and you have to figure out ways to dump them out. And it's very easy for me to have these opinions because I don't even have children. So, but I
Yeah, I
do
think
feel
if you
very
had
strongly about all
kids,
this.
you would want them out of the house. I don't have kids either, but my friends do, and they like when their kids go to school slash daycare or wherever they go. But I don't know. I just want my kids to be normal. I want them to have a normal life, go to school, be normal. I didn't hate school.
I don't
Like,
think Taylor Swift went to school. I don't think Billie Eilish went to school.
Billie
Normal,
Eilish is an anti-Semite, so I don't care what she did. But Taylor Swift is a billionaire pop star. Like, my kids are not going to be billionaire pop stars.
mhm.
They have respectable careers, but like, probably not billionaire pop stars. I just want them to be
Well, not with that
normal.
attitude. They're not going to be billionaire pop stars.
I mean, like, they're going to be Jewish, so I just like don't think it's going to happen. I don't
You're like
know.
the
They could be
Jewish ones just
doctors.
manage. They just manage the billionaire pop stars. They don't
Yeah, they
actually.
could manage a billionaire pop star. That's fine. I don't know.
Uh,
I just want my kids to be normal. Like, have a normal childhood, a normal life. I feel like I had a normal childhood and a normal life, and I like being normal. I like some people want like above normal or whatever, but
I do not aspire to normal
I like
ever.
normal.
No, that does not normal does nothing for me.
Normal in the
Normal.
sense of like my life and my lifestyle. Like I'm not I wouldn't consider myself like a a I'm losing the word I'm looking for. But like
A
just a
diva,
base
high
no.
maintenance. No,
I mean, I'm not really high maintenance. Whatever I am, I'm the one maintaining it, so who cares? But no, I'm just like I wouldn't say that I'm average. Like as a person, I don't think I'm average, but
you're not average. You
I
have a
think my life is
podcast.
average, and I like my life being average.
Mhm. That's very interesting. Um, yeah, I don't really relate to that. I think maybe because I grew up in Hollywood, I always had this longing. It penetrates everything here. People really want to do extraordinary things. The weirdest people from all corners of the world move here every year, thinking they're going to be the one, and it infuses everything that everyone does with so much meaning. And you go to these nooks and crannies of open mics, music spots, and you see these just brilliantly talented people, and they're really just trying. They're trying, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. I think it's worth aspiring to, shoot for the stars, you land on the moon, that kind of sentiment.
I don't know. I'm more realistic about life, and really what I want is just to have like a nice life and go on vacation. Like that's what
Uh,
I want. I don't need to be a billionaire pop star. I mean, I'm not gonna be. My voice isn't that good.
you have an interesting voice. You have a great voice for like podcasts. It feels very friendly and very
Thank
like,
you.
yeah, very cackly.
Well, I'm a little bit hoarse. Not like super, but a little bit because I spent 2 nights ago screaming my head off for 3 hours at the Jonas Brother concert, um, where they brought out Jesse McCartney and Demi Lovato and sang all of their old songs. So it's been a week for the pop girlies.
I met one of the Jonas Brothers. I don't even remember which one.
Which one?
I think the youngest one.
Nick?
Yeah.
Where?
No, Nick's the most famous one. It wasn't the most famous one.
Joe?
Joe. I met Joe and where, okay, this is a good story. Our mutual friend's brother, 16, he was in LA shooting a wedding because that's what he does. He's a photographer and he said, "Let's go to the Grammys." And I was like, "Oh, but you can't go to the Grammys because it's not even you can't even buy a ticket to that. You need to be invited." He's like, "No, no, no, we're gonna just like show up." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'm into it." I was at law school at the time and he we just put on nice suits. We drove to Staples. It's in downtown LA, Staples Center, and they had blocked off a mile perimeter around the stadium. We found some area of construction work, and we just like went under some construction work. And then once we were within the perimeter, and we were just like two white guys in suits, we just like looked like we belonged there. And we literally ended up like we walked through the tunnel, like past like where Johnny Depp was hanging out, and we just hung out on the red carpet for the entire night. Um, I met Ariana Grande and Lady Gaga, and until like the end when it was time for everyone to go in, and then they realized we didn't have a ticket, then they kicked us off. But even so, we didn't give up, and we went to like an after party and that we snuck into, and it was so cool. And that's where we saw that Jonas brother,
Wow.
and
Was
he,
Taylor there?
Taylor was not there. I think Adele was, but the Jonas guy was cool. He invited us to do drugs, and we declined, but it was fun. Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah, it was.
My goal is to see him around somewhere in New York City, but hasn't happened yet.
Mhm. It's a good
I
goal.
just want to run into him or get because he's like all over New York City. I just like want to be going somewhere one day and just be like, "Oh, hey, that's Joe Jonas." I don't need to stalk him down. I just like
You should move to
organically.
Los Angeles. It sounds like you'd really like Los Angeles. No?
No, like I don't need to fawn over him. I just want to like be like, "Oh, that's so cool. I just met Joe Jonas randomly walking down the street in New York City." And that's it.
Got it.
I don't like I'm not like trying to follow around celebrities. Like it's cool. I have seen like one time I saw like some Bravo people and like walking around New York. They were too far away for me to talk to them, but I
Hmm.
was just like, yeah, I just saw them in Madison Square Park. Like that's cool. I not like going out and looking for them, but just like, oh, hey, I'm walking down the street and there's a famous TikToker. Like that's cool. But not in my face all the time. It's just like once in a while, then I walk into work and it's like, hey, guess who I saw outside?
Got it.
But but yeah. Um, really quick,
Yeah.
let's take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors, and then
Let's
we'll
do
be
it.
right back. Sticky Situations is sponsored by Corona Crush. Are you tired of swiping on dating apps? Tired of guessing whether the cute guy or girl you keep seeing around is Jewish and or single? Then you need to run, not walk to join Corona Crush. Corona Crush is a Jewish organization working to create Jewish couples always. Corona Crush has over 30 confirmed engagements, over 22,000 members from all over the world, and has set up over 50,000 speed dates. Join the Corona Crush Facebook group and post yourself or have a friend post you and see who reaches out. Fill out the survey to sign up for virtual speed dating events happening every other week. Corona Crush is 100% free and 100% Jewish. Worst case, you end up with some stories of your own. Best case, you find the love of your life. Try it out today. Here on Sticky Situations, we tend to focus on bad dating stories, but sometimes dates do go well and lead to proposals and weddings. Who would have thought? And what do all of those require, you might be asking? Well, the answer is flowers. Who doesn't want flowers from someone they've been seeing? Don't forget, flower petals and bouquets needed for proposals. And that's even before all the flowers that go into weddings. Sticky Situations is sponsored by Primrose Flower Shop. In my opinion, Primrose is the coolest flower shop around and has the best customer service to fulfill all of your floral needs. Primrose offers a range of services from your basic bouquets to subscription services where you can get flowers delivered once a week. They deliver all over the tri state area, including Manhattan. Primrose does weddings, bar and bat mitzvahs, and other simchas. I've personally been to a wedding where Primrose did the flowers, and the work they did was beyond gorgeous. Primrose additionally offers in store proposals, including a romantic setup with candles and music. Primrose is located at 2922 Avenue M in Brooklyn, and the phone number is 929 376 9815. You can also follow Primrose on Instagram at PrimroseNY. So, if you can't get someone out of your head, buy them some flowers from Primrose. They'll either love it or they'll find you really creepy. But regardless, the flowers will be out of this world. Okay, we're back, everybody. Okay, Jason, I want to hear what else, some other dating related things, whether it's a story or other things that you want to discuss.
Yeah, dating stories is tough. I dated girls like kind of on and off for a while. The thing that weighs on me is like I've never introduced a girl to my family. I've never really, so I really feel like I've never claimed someone as like my girlfriend, even though I've gone through the motions where I'm taking girls out on dates, even on vacations or whatever. But that final piece of introducing them to your family, I think is the thing that you kind of claim this person.
Did you
And
call them your girlfriend?
a little, some of them a little bit. But, one girl I dated, I was really in love with her a long time ago. This was really a long time ago. Her father was Jewish, but she wasn't Jewish. Her mom wasn't Jewish. And so I don't know, I kind of got in my head. I don't think at this point in my life I would really care about that sort of thing, but I kind of got in my head about it then. And and then I dated like this really Orthodox girl, but I was like, I'm not really, Orthodox, and it's just not me. She was so into it. But I really liked her too. And maybe now also by contrast, I would be willing to date someone that was Orthodox. Like I can kind of make myself more flexible if everything else aligned. But dating is just really, really hard. Like I go to these events and they feel so awkward and superficial. These like young Jewish professional 300, meet your soulmate. And you like go there and there's just like, you just feel people sizing you up like for this 60-year relationship way of interacting. It feels like there's just such a weird misalignment of any chance for something to organically develop. But I feel like I'm failing you on this podcast without giving you like specific funny stories that have happened on dates.
No,
I've
no, it's
gotten
okay.
I've gotten catfish before, like where you go on a date and like it's just the person doesn't look anything like the pictures. And I always found it interesting. I dated this girl, she was a public defender. We both went to the same school. We actually met on Hinge. It was during COVID. And she made this one comment that was so interesting. She said that, when I take my pictures, I want to make sure that they look realistic. And she was a cute girl, but I never really thought of it like that. Like, yeah, girls could really they know their angles and they know like how to do certain lighting tricks or whatever and really change the nature of how they would be perceived by just three or four photos. And so I've definitely had that where like I'm just in a date and I'm like, oh my gosh, I planned all these things, but like this person is nothing like the person that I had met. And I know that I've been that person, I'm sure, for other people. So
Yeah, I think like my rule of thumb is I try to keep all my pictures current.
mhm.
And some of them it's like, yeah, like the girl was saying, like, yeah, my best pictures are gonna be there with my hair done, my makeup done, like in a nice outfit. But also like I'm gonna have at least like one or two pictures where I look regular.
Mhm.
Like,
What advice would you have for me? You asked me about my denomination, age, and occupation. Now you've gotten a
yeah,
sense of like who I am and what I'm looking for and what I'm trying to accomplish. Like what advice would you have
for what? In terms of like,
in terms of increasing this odds of success of having good quality dates and potentially finding the one? Like you're obviously passionate about this because you started a whole podcast around it. Where's
yeah,
there should be like online coaching one-on-one with, Rachel and like
I tried doing dating coaching for like a second and then I don't have the energy for it. I have a full-time job. Also, I don't really believe in charging people money if you're not actually certified at anything. And like, yeah, I also really think that there's a huge like there's a group of people that try to make their money off of taking advantage of single Jews, and I'm not into that. I'm not into like I don't know, like once you get money involved, it feels icky. Like with the podcast, like I don't get paid for the podcast. I have my partnerships, but like I don't really make real money off of this. This is like fully for fun. I have a real job. I have a corporate job. Or like if I set people up, that's because I genuinely want people to like find their person. It's not like there's no ulterior motive. And I just think there's a lot of people who make it their livelihood in especially within the Jewish community. And I like don't agree with that because I also think it's really hard. You can give people advice, but not one recipe works for every person. I think
True.
And I that's what I also hate when like people who are in relationships or married and they're like, "Well, did you try this and that? Well, this is what worked for me, and you shouldn't give up hope because this is what worked for me." And it's like, "No, just because something worked for you doesn't mean it's going to work for someone else. Every situation is totally unique, and every person has a different experience." But I think my advice is you just want to keep being genuine, keep finding ways of bettering yourself. I think like as we stay single, it's easy to like, I don't know, just do whatever, but I think it's important to always like keep reflecting to make you like a better person or a better version of you. Like I don't mean like, oh, go learn Torah. I'm like, okay, I don't like this how I reacted in this situation. What would I do next time? Like you with the ghosting. It's like, oh, okay, maybe next time if I'm in that situation, I could send a quick like 2 sentence text. Like you're just like making yourself better so that way like it's there's no like science of finding the perfect person. It's just like kind of like God's plan as much as I hate that because I like being in control. Like it's hard that all you can do really is work on yourself and just keep putting yourself out there and then wait for whatever's supposed to happen.
That sounds sound advice. And yeah, I've gotten into a better habit. I think that was a bit of an exception, but I've gotten
That was just
into
an example.
no, yeah, I've gotten that advice from other girls, and it's so true. I don't, I think that it's so much better to send that text, and that is really poignant stuff. Also, to just try and work on yourself. That's really the only thing that feels like we really do have control over, and even that, I'm not sure if we have control over, because we're just so thrust into this world in such a specific set of circumstances. It's like, how much do we really control? But
We don't
yeah,
control that much.
no, we really don't. But working on oneself is the way to go. I've had other other blind dates where she was so cool and interesting, and she was quite pretty. She We had a 3 hour date, and then we were just having tea and eating at this like cool cafe. And she would make these comments about how she loves going on vacation, but they're very expensive. And she was so well dressed. And then I walk her to her car, and she kind of didn't want me to walk her to her car, but she didn't say no. So I was almost curious about that. And I walked her to her car, and she was driving like a $200,000 Maserati. And I found out afterwards that her parents are just like super loaded. And then we didn't end up working out. But I just thought it was so funny how she was a school teacher too. So the comments about how vacations could be expensive kind of lined up. But then she's like driving a 300, $200,000 Maserati SUV, and I was just like, oh, this person, you know, I thought I had like a nice Volvo, but this is not going to work. And yeah, I tried to like reach out to her a couple more times. I made like a joke about like one of her students, and then she just like left me on red, like on WhatsApp. And I was
Oh,
like, oh, that was just a joke. And that. is now I feel so sad for myself by telling that story. Why did I tell that story? I'm just trying
It's
to
okay.
I'm trying to entertain you and impress you and your listeners.
She also should have, if she wasn't interested, she could have just sent a text and said that she wasn't interested.
Oh my God, my dad's friend drove me nuts to take her out, and I wasn't doing it forever. And he's like, I'll pay for the coffee. And I'm like, fine, I'll just do it. And then I wonder where she is. I would love to like figure out, there should be an app for that where you get to like track people that you've gone out with. You just like enter their information and it spits out this like, profile of what ended up happening with them. I'm
Well, could
so
you Google
curious.
her?
I honestly don't even remember her name or anything.
Instagram stalker?
I don't think I know she didn't have Instagram. Um, I always do some. That's also a funny dynamic when like guys also do some light or medium internet stalking, and then you have to like pretend that you don't know so much about this person because, I mean, I'm pretty public online, so if someone were to research me before a date, like they can get to know so much about me. And there's a lot of people that are like that. And like I remember like weird stuff even like I'll like find like a newsletter from like a synagogue that like published something about the family and then it gives me so much more context of who this person is and where they come from. But I can't be like showing up to the date and being like, so wow, yeah, your grandparents really like donated the benches for your synagogue. They'd be like, what the heck are you talking about? Like that's so bizarre. But there's always stuff out there. Like it's very hard to hide your footprint nowadays.
Yeah,
I wonder how do you just have to be authentic about it. Like I don't know.
yeah,
There's nothing really, if you're living an explicit, authentic life, then there's really nothing to be embarrassed about. Like I don't know. It just seems like you can always just be transparent. And if you're standing on what you're doing with confidence, then who cares what anyone knows or doesn't know? Like I find secrecy to be very dark and not good. Secrecy is never a good
yeah.
thing.
I mean, any guy I go out with, I tell them about the podcast. It's up to them. They have free will if they want to listen to it.
Mhm.
Um, I honestly, it's smart if they do because it's kind of like a cheat sheet in how to date me. But I don't know. For me, I don't like do deep dives into people before I go out with them. I just kind of make sure they're a safe enough person. And that we have like, if we have mutual friends, making sure that like they're not going to murder me. And then I don't know, I prefer because I think we put a persona online and like, I don't know, I'm very open online. I'm very open on the podcast. People know most of my views in life and what I like and what I don't like. And I'm just like an honest person in general. But I don't think we share everything of ourselves like on the internet.
Of course not. Of course not.
So,
And everything's fluid, hopefully people are dynamic and ever evolving. Do you think
yeah.
people change or do they just grow with the template of who they are?
I think the latter because I don't think a bad person can turn into a good person.
Wow.
And I don't think a good person can turn into a bad person unless like something really like drastic happened to them.
Hmm.
I think like inherently deep down we are the same people. We develop and our personalities develop and the situations that we've been in cause us to grow and change or emotionally traumatize us and scar us. But I think at the end of the day, people are the same people.
Man, I I hope you're wrong. I really hope you're wrong. I don't know though. I always struggle with that. That's why I asked the question. Like, am I really changing? Am I capable of change? Do I change? Or am I just growing better within like what I have? I mean, there is a difference, like to fundamentally change your nature. It's just so difficult to do. Like I'm terrible with time, but I feel like I've gotten better with that. Like maybe I'm not good across the board, but at least within the context of certain relationships, I'm able to say, okay, if I'm going to be there at 6 p.m., and I'll actually be there at 6 p.m. and everything else, I kind of transcend time, and I don't listen to it. So I have to disagree with you. I think that I've
But I don't think
changed.
that I think that would fall under growth instead of like who you are as a person.
Mhm.
Because it's like you find a flaw within yourself, and it's like, okay, I'm going to be more intentional about not about being better with this.
Hmm.
I think that would fall under the category of growth.
Do you think we went to space, like as a species? Do you think we actually
Yeah.
went to the, do you think we went to the moon?
Yeah.
I don't think we went to the moon. I don't think so. Doesn't seem
Wait,
likely.
I have a question.
Hmm.
So you are bi-coastal, and you've told stories about New York and LA.
Hmm.
Where do you think is better dating wise, New York or LA?
New York is better because there's just more people. There's more flavors of Jew, and that's the city is just so much more bustling. But LA just doesn't have as many people, so you don't get as many iterations, you don't get as many shots on goal, you don't get to try as much. And LA is also a very specific culture. You really do need a car to get around. It's a non-starter if you don't have a car here.
Yeah.
In New York, you don't need a car at all. So that kind of changes what you're going to do. And the women in New York are just so much grittier than the women of LA because living in a situation where there's like rats the size of like footballs and you just like, oh yeah, that's just rats. Like I'll just walk past them and you're walking past just like homeless people like cracked out and like it just and you have to take like you can take a bus to a subway to a train to get to locations. Like these things are unheard of. Like I still don't take the subway when I'm in New York. I take it very sparingly.
Really?
Yeah, I either walk or I Uber. Like I'll walk an hour before taking the subway. It just like does not comport with my way of like the world getting through the world.
Wow. I mean, yeah, the subway is gross. I take it every day, but
Yeah, it's definitely me fighting like the culture. It's usually faster to get to the subway, even as opposed to Ubering. But um, yeah, so it's just a different pace of life too. Like the fact that LA shuts down at 9 p.m. You know, you can bank on the fact that like everything is closed pretty much. But New York, you can go till 1 or 2 in the morning, no matter what you want to do, or later.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you said something interesting before about how you just don't think, like, you think your story is going to be better than meeting on Hinge.
Yeah.
I find that interesting too because I've said similar things that, like, I just think my life is bigger than that. Like, I
It
think,
just, yeah.
I mean, I'm
It,
still open to every possibility, but I don't know. I had this conversation with one of my friends years ago at this point, and it's just like, I feel like I'm meant to meet whoever I'm supposed to be with in like a more, like a bigger way,
and don't
better story.
I don't think you should negotiate on that. Like it's a tool obviously that is cool. And I know people that have successful marriages with children from purely meeting off of dating apps like Bumble, Hinge, J-Swipe, whatever. So it's not to knock like I'm going to a wedding this Sunday. That's why I extended my stay in LA. I'll be back in New York, God willing, next week. But I extended my stay. These this couple that they met each other on Hinge. And to me, it just seems like what the reason we met is because someone in Silicon Valley leveraged the internet and we both have like Wi-Fi. Like that's
Yeah.
it. It just seems very, I don't know. I had a couple deep relationships with people from Hinge, but I don't know. There it just but I'm crazy like that. Like for the same reason, like I don't really like I don't want to be set up by like an official shotgun either. Like it just doesn't seem like that is like a fun story to have to iterate 500 times for the rest of my life. Oh, how did you meet? Mrs. Grossman saw us and, you know, pants skirt go. Like, what? I don't know. But
Yeah.
maybe I'm being crazy. Maybe doesn't really like that's the thing though. I'm trying to like strategize. Like, what do I need to do? Like, okay, so maybe I need to just like pick a couple organizations and really just like that I already align with and volunteer. Like, you know, does the Met have some kind of like arts meets philanthropy, like where I'd meet someone really interesting and sophisticated in that capacity? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't have the answers. I try to just keep an open mind. Like, both of my relationships that I've had, I met them on dating apps. But like, I don't know. I try to keep an open mind. I have friends who met on dating apps. I have friends who met on through Shadcons, and I have friends who have like much better stories. But I don't know. At the end of the day, I feel like my story is going to be a story no matter what. Even if it starts on Hinge, like it'll still be a
Yeah, my younger
story.
sister is like, you're an idiot because once you actually have romance with someone, then you get to write your own story with that person. Like, why are you getting fixated on like one pinpoint of the trajectory? And she's obviously right. She's right about most things. So,
Yeah.
but there was something so beautiful. Like I had mentioned her earlier, the conversation. Her name was Tolliver. What a weird name. But we met actually at one of these like young Jewish professional white parties. She was smoking a cigarette, and I don't smoke anymore, but I asked her, "Hey, can I split that with you?" And she goes, "Yeah, you don't look like you have herpes." And I'm like, "Wait, you don't think I could have herpes? Like, what are you saying? I'm not like, I don't have like edge, like." And then we dated for like 2 years, you know? And
Wow.
that is just such a like nice meet cute that feels worth duplicating or pursuing, you know, or having that kind of organic thing. But
Yeah.
it goes back to what you were saying about working on yourself. If you really work on yourself and you put yourself in a situation where you have the gravitas and the alignment with your purpose and you're being intentional, then you'll be in rooms where you'll be attracting that same thing as
Yeah.
opposed to, yeah. So I think that was
Yeah.
really salient. Yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, we just like have no idea. Like, I don't know. The story I built up in my head about the guy who I spent the last year and a half thinking I was gonna marry, who I didn't even date. It's like, okay, yeah, it's because it's a cool story and there's so many like weird factors involved. But at the end of the day, he's just a boy I haven't talked to in a bunch of months. Like, I don't know what my story is gonna actually be. It's easy to romanticize when you don't know.
It's easy to romanticize when you don't know, and so many times, like especially living in LA, and you meet with, I've not hung out with that many A-list celebrities or whatever, but when anybody that you meet, where you put on a pedestal, like 9 times out of 10, you get to know them, and you're like, okay, this is just a regular person with like the same kind of, they get scared just like me, they have same issues, and sometimes like I've been pining after like a girl, and then I finally go on a date with her and I'm just like, wow, she is a ditz. Like, this is not, she's not even interesting. Like, oh my gosh, I was trying so many times. Oh my gosh, like one or two of my older sister's friends that like they one of them got divorced, and I finally went on a date with her, and you don't understand, I had a crush on this girl my entire life. And then like, I don't know, it just had no chance of going anywhere. And I really shouldn't say that because for her, I'm not going to make you edit it out. But for her, she really is an amazing person. She's just so different than me. She's more like hippy dippy lovey, and I don't think that would be what I would want for someone to raise my children. But um, yeah, I think like you said, we don't really know, and we're kind of on this journey. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think if there's been more like funny stories and stuff. Like I once accidentally stabbed a girl
Oh my
because
gosh.
yeah, she was trying to be like cute and flirtatious, and she jumped on my lap, and I had a pen that was like clicked open that I didn't realize, and so it
Oh.
like pierced through my pants and actually like broke her skin, and she's
Oh.
like, and she was like bleeding, and so this like nice flirty cute moment turned into like this horrific because we didn't understand why she was bleeding, and it was like really embarrassing. We didn't really know each other at all. That was really that was really awful, but
That's that's funny.
yeah.
But I know you're on a time crunch, so we are nearing the end of our time. So do you have any last thoughts before we get to our closing sections?
I think this is really cool that you do this. I think it's cool that you are interested in people and you get to know people from all walks of life, and it makes you a person of the world. And I'm just really grateful that you do this. I listened to a few of your episodes and you really do have a very inviting voice, and you should work the raspy angle more. You sound like Emma Stone, and you should go to more concerts.
Oh yeah, I the two things that while I'm doing in my single life that I just am trying to enjoy is going to as many concerts as I can and going on as many trips as I can.
I
So,
love it.
yeah.
Any trips that you'd recommend that I do?
I'm not like the most well-traveled yet, but I don't know. I honestly anywhere. I don't have recommendations because I'm not the one to plan it. It's usually like, oh, people are like, oh, you want to go here? And I'm like, yeah. So I don't know. It's just like if something sounds interesting, do it because you don't know if you'll always be able to in life. So take advantage of any opportunity that you get. And if there's somewhere you want to go or something you want to do, you should do it while you're single
I
because you
love
won't be
it.
single forever.
I love it. Thank you. This is really
But
fun. I
yeah, wait, before we end the
oh,
episode. Okay, so Jason, can you give me and my listeners one piece of dating advice?
one piece of dating advice
Yeah.
is make sure you know the color of the person's eyes by the time you're finished that date. That's the dating advice
It's a good
that
tip of
I would give.
advice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that that's really. I also don't ask questions like to the extent like seriously. I did a lot of improv comedy. I did it at UCLA when I was in law school. I did it, even afterwards, and it's been really informative and as a trial lawyer and in life. And the best thing that I took out of those classes is don't ask questions. You want to assume that you know things. You want to make judgments and labels in a playful way. But asking questions is always so loaded and it breeds unfamiliarity. And obviously, that's not realistic sometimes. But you kind of don't want to play 20 questions with someone on a date. You want to have just things that come out organically through the activity and through just sharing time with each other.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, the dates that you just have banter and ongoing conversation are always the best ones, not the ones that feel like interviews.
Yeah. Like this podcast interview.
It's my job to ask questions.
You're good at it. This is
I
so
try.
fun.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
try.
you're right. We're just meant to work on what we can work on with ourselves, and you don't need to have all the answers.
Yeah. I think the people who try to pretend like they have all the answers, like they're just full of it.
Yeah, they're
But
just charging Jewish singles
yeah,
money.
taking advantage, extortion.
I don't really think I've ever come across any of these types of people that you're saying are so nefarious.
No, it's just like all these dating coaches and shotguns that want to charge you for every little thing. And it's
Oh, I see.
no, this is supposed to be like a mitzvah, not, this shouldn't be your business. Like,
You're
go get
going
it.
straight to heaven, Rachel.
I'm trying. I haven't successfully set anyone up yet, but I work on it. I try. I really try my best.
You're amazing.
Or I encourage
I love how you
people.
were like, "What's your tagline?" Like, oops, I went out of order. It's like this whole
Yeah.
show is your show. There's no order. Who's gonna like tell on you that you did something wrong? It's very funny.
Nobody. But
Right.
that being said, do you have a tagline?
Be bold, be brilliant, be curious.
Okay, I like it. Well, Jason, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you, Rachel. I can't wait for it to come out. Help you promote it. Can't wait to see you again sometime in New York. And
Yeah,
yeah.
sure. I'm here. I don't leave. I mean, sometimes I go on trips, but
Right, right. Aforementioned.
yeah. But yeah. And Sticky Situation Nation, you'll catch me next time. Bye, everybody.